very good afternoon to you once more, and welcome back to the show. This is the Breeze Sounds right here on Radio Chub, the only station that listens to the people. It is 20 minutes after 1, and right in the studio at the moment, we are joined by a very beautiful author, Suzanne McNeil, and she's just here to tell us about her journey as a writer. Where did it all start? How far is it? How far has it been? How long has it been? And what is it that she enjoys about being an author? And of course, we will be unpacking this beautiful book. It's titled A Requiem of Loss and Dreams. I'm sure you're wondering as well, what's this book all about? So she's here to just give us a bit of what the book is all about. Welcome, Suzanne. How are you?
I am good. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for making time on a Sunday. Are you from church?
Yes.
How was it?
It was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah, I spoke about baggages and not carrying it into the New Year, so that was nice.
Yeah. So what are you leaving behind what is it that you're leaving behind?
I think stress. I tend to sweat the small stuff, so I'm just gonna try my best in the New Year not to
stress.
Yeah, as an overachiever, it's hard. You have all these hopes and dreams and plans to achieve them, but you neglect your mental health. And I think it's important to just also take care of your health, so I'm gonna do that in the New Year.
Of course, I love that. I love that you're self-aware and you love you know how to navigate around the New Year. Thank you so much for joining me once more.
Thank you.
I'm sure people are wondering who exactly is Suzanne. Maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you on about, and how did you even venture into writing in the first place?
All right, so I'm Suzanne McNeil. I'm a writer and filmmaker. That's how I introduce myself, because I'm in both worlds. Okay. I started writing at age 11, but writing professionally in university. And so far in my writing career, I have 5 books under my belt, and one of which we'll discuss today.
Sure.
So yeah.
5.
Yes, 5.
And how does it feel? I mean, you've started by 11 years of age, and now how old are you? I don't know how old you are, but you have 5 under your name. Okay, let's not go there. But you have 5. How does it feel, and what does it mean to you?
Honestly, writing is everything to me. It's the only thing I would say I know how to do near perfectly. And I believe it's my purpose on earth. So of course, with life and things being tough, sometimes it's easier to just go get a normal job. But I can't not write. Like, I can't not write.
You cannot not write.
Yeah. So in the meantime, I'm hustling. I'm doing everything I can. But one thing that stays constant is that I write. And recently, because before I'll wait for all the big opportunities to come, the publishing houses. Recently, I've been self-publishing. I'm like, you know what? Before the big opportunity comes, this is within my reach. This is something I can do. So I self-publish out of my pocket, and then I sell, I hustle, I'm everywhere promoting the book, and that's how I've been surviving the last 2.5 years now.
All right. And now, what keeps you going? Because I understand self-publishing can be a job and a half. It's not easy
at all.
But I think with your passion as well, you're just like, okay, I have to do it.
Yes.
But what are some of the reasons that actually urge you to go to that length as well?
To be honest, I think age. I'm mid-30s, have a family of my own now, and I feel like it's now or never. Because in my 20s, I did work hard, but there was still that hope and belief that it will happen.
Sure.
And then as the 30s are passing, I'm like, oh boy, I'm realizing that it won't just happen. You have to make it happen.
Sure.
So I have this sense of urgency, especially in the last 2 years after I had my daughter. Then I have this urge, this fight in me that no, I have to make it work. And so I'm trying my best. I'm researching, I'm doing everything, I'm trying to be everywhere, and I'm just,
Sure. I mean, the power is in our hands, we have to take the first step. So now let's talk about your recent book, A Requiem of Loss and Dreams. Perhaps let's start with the title.
Okay.
What does it mean?
So I had to think, because this is actually my first poetry collection.
Okay.
And unlike with novels, which are my first 3 books, you're able to, with the story, somehow come up with the title. But with this one, because each poem is so different and there's different feelings and emotions, I had to seek deep. And then I think I finally came up with it actually about a month before the book was published. And that was because if I surmised everything in the book, it's a requiem means an anthem, so it's like an anthem, a cry for loss and dreams, and that's pretty much the book in a nutshell.
Sure. It's amazing. I love the idea.
Thank you.
And now you have been writing, novels, like you had mentioned. This is your first series of poems, right? How was it like writing or transitioning from that world of novel to poems? Because poems are totally different. How was it?
Absolutely, because I've been writing poetry since 14, but I never showed anybody or anything. And with the exception of poetry writing classes and other writing classes, I've never shared. So I won't lie, I was a bit nervous to put out this book because poetry is so personal. With fiction, even if your character is a serial killer, you're like, hey, that's I'm not like that. That's this character. That's James. That's this character. Yeah. But with poetry, you can't hide. It's you. A lot of things you're conveying. It's you. It's your insides, and it's raw. And so it's a bit nerve-wracking because you fear judgment. You fear a lot of that. Then another fear I had with this book is two-part because I mentioned I haven't mentioned here, but each of the poem in this book is a different genre. The whole point of writing this book was to teach the novice especially how to write poetry because poetry is a very misunderstood art. So I don't believe it's lost. I just think it's misunderstood. So for people who aren't in that world, they just see poems as what is this? Nobody can understand it. There's just words. So I break down what poetry actually means. I break down the genres and I break down pretty much how to write about it. So it's kind of like a mini textbook, but then you see the examples of the poems I write.
You wrote.
So my fear was that I don't have a PhD in poetry. What if the great poetry writers of our day and those with the PhD say, who is she to write
what
this
is
kind
she
of book?
talking about? Yeah.
But I had to dig in myself and realize I have studied poetry even formally. I've taken many classes. I've studied under professors with PhDs, and I've been writing for many years. So I'm qualified.
Yeah, sure. And I think the perfectionist in you was just like, anxious to say, what if it's not so great that I want it to be like? And I love the fact that you're also trying to make readers understand what exactly poetry is, because we hardly get that. People just give you a poetry book and you're like, okay, all the stanzas, I don't even got what's going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because even those in the world, I mean, we're still studying Shakespeare, we're still studying Percy Bysshe Shelley and all those kind of people. And sometimes it's hard to understand what are they saying and but when you actually study form, when you study the meter, when you study the rhythm, all the aspects of poetry, then you start to get it, you start to hear it. I remember in my younger days when I go for poetry events and I hear people read poetry, they read it so weird. They're like, I want to come to. And I'm like, why are you reading like that? But then now I understand because that's the rhythm of the poem. That's how it's written. That's supposed to be read. So when you start reading more poetry, you start understanding rhythm, and you will know when you start.
Yeah, because some of us, even when we read poetry, just like, okay, stanza 1, can you stanza 2, you don't even connect with it.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah, and okay.
Now saying the rhythm is like the tempo of the poem. Think of music. Every song has its own kind of sound. So
of course,
every poem is the same. And I break down the book, the different types of genre, and then the rhyme scheme so that you can understand, okay, so this is what a sonnet is. Instead of being scared of the word, just, it's a 14-line poem that has a rhyme scheme with the end must rhyme, and then simple things. And I know what a concrete is. It's a poem that creates shapes with words. So by the time you go through this book, you will know all the basic genres of poetry. There's still a lot more that I didn't cover, but who knows? That's book 2.
Yeah, of course we need more books. We need more books. So now, as you are writing, okay, there's a text part that you would like people to understand what poetry is all about.
Yes.
And I'm sure as you were writing the poems as well, you wanted readers to connect in a way.
Yes.
How were you hoping, or how do you hope readers connect, especially with the emotions and stories in your poetry?
So, to be honest, right, even as I was writing the book, because a lot of I would say 90% of the poems in this book I had written before, and I assumed they were all free verse. Free verse is just, a poem, you can just write anyhow. It doesn't have any rhyme scheme, any stanza. You can just write however you like. Then is when I started studying poetry that I discovered, they're not all free verse.
Okay.
This is like, for instance, an ekphrastic poem. That just means a poem about like a portrait. And this is about, so the more you study, you now realize that, that everything was already there. So the truth is that you can't go wrong with just writing from your heart. Like, it's scary if you're not formally trained or whatever, but if you just write from your heart and then you study it, you realize, I was doing the right thing all along. Yeah.
And among how many poems are there in there?
I believe there are 73.
73.
Yes.
That's a lot.
And yet they're so tiny.
And yet the book is so tiny,
That's
guys.
poetry.
Yes. 73. And I'm sure amongst all the 73 poems that you have written in there, there's that one that you resonate so well with, or that actually comes to the top of your head when you open the book. What is that one, and why do you like it so much?
Well, I guess I'll go with Hunger because Hunger was actually the very first poem I ever wrote. And then I also have a dramatic monologue named Hunger where I perform it as Hunger, dressed like a devil now. And on Netflix, it's cool to watch. I did that at the launch. So I resonated with it the most because that was, like I said, that was the very first poem I wrote. It was actually in grade 9. So it was a class project. The teacher there was a poem we had read called Hunger. So she said, okay, write your own poem called Hunger, just a 1-page thingy.
Sure.
So I wrote it. I didn't think anything about it. We submitted it. Then the next day we had class. She tells me to wait after class, and I was just like, oh my god, because imagine I was 15 in grade 9. I'm like, oh, this woman, what does she want? It's break time. And then she said, Sisan, honestly, that was a very beautiful poem. Have you considered doing this, like, for real? And I was just like, oh, and that was the first time in my life anyone recognized my writing. Because, like I said, I've been writing since I was 11. I just write in notebooks. I keep them. I don't show anybody.
Sure.
It was the first time a teacher, someone that you respect, our literature teacher, actually encouraged me, and she kept pushing me, making me write different things. I didn't appreciate it at the time. I didn't like the attention. But later I flash back and I'm thankful for her because she's the first person to ever recognize my work and pretty much set me on the path I am now.
Look at you now. I mean, shout out to her. I mean, it takes that one individual to actually see that spark in you and just say words and then you just go and just shine in the world.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. What do you want readers to take away from Requiem of Loss and Dreams? Because loss and dreams, this is what we go through every day. We dream, we lose things every day.
Exactly.
You know, it's a reality.
Yeah, and the last part in the book was like, writing, I discovered so many dear ones have died in recent times. And I mean, I know there's that saying that the older you get, the more people in your life will lose. But man, it's a real thing. And when it's happening, especially close relatives, it's one thing if your cousin's cousin dies. It's one thing if maybe the uncle who raised you, almost like your dad, dies. You're like, damn. Like, this is life, and it hits you a different way. So that's where that came from, just dealing with all. And then loss also, dreams you had to let go on, maybe things you were passionate about, lovers that you thought you'll marry, and now they're long gone. So loss is something every human being can relate to, and that's where that aspect comes from.
Amazing.
And
Love it.
and the dreams part, it's the things you still hope will happen.
Of course.
Because as much as I call myself a realist, there's an optimistic part of me. And every artist there has to be, because you don't know where your career is gonna go, but you have to be optimistic that your dreams will come true, that whatever you're pushing for will happen. So you just have to keep that alive, and that's where the dreams.
And you know you're living when you dream, hey?
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's how you know you're living.
Absolutely.
So I want you to actually recite a poem for us. Actually one, just before I let you go. You know, the one that you feel like will resonate with my listeners, because we are closing the year, man. We're closing the year, and I'm sure a lot of things happened to our listeners, Susan. You know, a lot happened. We lost. We dream. Some of us, we feel like, oh, our dreams are not so feasible.
Yes.
But I think at the end of the day, we need to be reminded, or maybe just to be, I don't know, touched in a way via poetry.
Should I go romantic or should I go deep and sad?
Please go as deep, and I don't know, you can go as deep as you can, because today we're actually talking about something quite very significant, Suzanne, on the show. The question was, if you were to go back to Jan 2025 and just give yourself one piece of advice for the year, what would it be? So I think that would actually help, you know, listeners just to resonate a bit. Yeah, so as much as you can go deep, it's okay.
Okay. I try not to make everyone too depressed. All right. I guess this is my first time sharing this one, and it's one of the ones I said that was hard to. With poetry, it's hard to hide, and this poem is an example of that. I think it can resonate with everybody because deep down inside, I think we all feel this way sometimes. All right, it's called Unlovable, and if you buy the book, you'll see that it's a villanelle, and all that is that it has three stanzas with a particular rhyme scheme. There are two sentences that repeat themselves in alternative lines. Okay. So it's called Unlovable. I worry that I would die alone and be on my own no matter what I do, because I'm unlovable to the bone. Right from childhood, I have grown to accept loneliness as a dear friend. I worry that I would die alone. Whenever mother spoke with a harsh tone, I would shudder inwardly, knowing that it was because I am unlovable to the bone. When father is distant and would postpone spending any time with me, I worry that I would die alone. Friends have come and gone, me but a distant memory to them, because I'm unlovable to the bone. Now my very own husband has stonewalled my love, rejected me flat. I worry that I'll die alone, because I'm unlovable to the bone.
Unlovable.
Now, disclaimer, I don't feel like that all the time, but sometimes I do.
Of course, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Thank you so much for that. That was beautiful, Suzanne.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us today. But before I let you go, someone is listening and they're like, okay, I love poetry so much and I'd like to learn about poetry.
All right.
I want to get more of your books. How do we get in contact with you? Yeah, how do we get in contact with you?
All right, my website is www.sisanmcneil.com, and Sisan's Sisan, McNeil McNeil. So sisanmcneil.com. You'll find all my works, and you can buy from the site, and it will be delivered to your door.
Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been amazing. You made my Sunday,
so
and I'm sure
much.
you made my listeners' Sunday as well with that beautiful poem. It was amazing. Thank you. And all the best of luck. Anything that you're looking forward to for the next year?
Hopefully more success in my career and more books.
More books, of course. We love reading.
Yes.
We love poetry. We love reading. Thank you so much, man. And all the best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. That was Susan McNeil, an author and a filmmaker. You can tell, that was a very short poem, but it was so heartfelt, filled with emotions. And if you love poetry, she's the person that you can get in touch with. Just get in touch with her. And yeah, shout out. It is 36 minutes just after 1 o'clock. A very good afternoon. Be sure not to go anywhere. This one is called Battleground by Paxton. Enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Good afternoon. Oh, man, Susan, thank you so much for coming. That
Thank you. Oh my God.
Were you ready?